Hello, Benigna and Laura.
Hello, Diego.
The idea of the class of today is to check some words related with movies. Okay. To start, the idea is you please complete this worksheet. In the preparation exercise, you must organize the words in three categories. First is types of film. Second is people in films. And third is word to describe films. Okay. Um, Next, the idea is you read the film review and check the top tips for writing. Then the idea is you do the exercise number 1 and exercise number 2. In the exercise number 1, the idea is you circle the best option to complete the sentences. And the exercise number 2, the idea you circle if the sentence if the sentence is a fact or is an opinion. Okay. Thank you. Sweet.
Diego, qué pena. Con esto no hay que hacer nada, ¿cierto? Solo leerlo, este pedazo.
Yes, only.
Listo. ¿Tú respondes?
Okay, perfect. Okay, Evelyn, then types of film.
Comedy, drama,
Yes.
fantastic.
No.
No?
Comedy and drama, yes, but fantastic.
No?
It's not a type of film. Which other?
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
Mm,
Sci-fi. Yes. Laura, people in films.
Director, actor, and actress.
Okay, perfect. Words to describe films.
good, terrible, and fantastic.
Terrible and fantastic. Okay, perfect. Then exercise number 1. The Hunger Game is a
Sci-fi adventure.
adventure. Okay. Number 2, Laura. The USA is a new country called
Panem.
Benin. Yes. Number 3. Number 3.
Is there
Yes.
Um,
Boys and girls on a TV show called The
Wow.
Hunger Games. Okay. Number 4, Laura. In the Hunger Games, the boys and girls have to.
fight until they are the last person left.
Okay, perfect. Number 5, Marta's favorite character in this film is
Katniss.
Katniss. Number 6, Marta thinks you should.
Watch this film.
Okay, perfect. Exercise number 2, the first sentence. I think you should go and watch it soon. Is a fact or an opinion?
Opinion.
Okay, perfect. Number 2, Katniss goes on the TV show. Is a fact or is an opinion?
Fact.
Fact, perfect. Number 3, in the future, the USA is a new country called Panem.
Fact.
Okay, perfect. Number 4, my favorite character is Katniss. Is a fact or is a opinion?
Opinion.
Number 5, I think that the film is good. Is fact
Opinion.
or opinion? Opinion, perfect. Number 6, I love the actors in this film. Is a fact or is a opinion?
Opinion.
Okay, perfect. Number 7, is a sci-fi adventure films. Is a fact or is a opinion?
Fact.
Fact, perfect. And number 8, the film is called The Hunger Games. Is a fact or is a opinion?
Fact.
Okay, perfect. Now, the idea you answer this question, then Belin, what is your favorite film?
Mm. Mm. The life is beautiful. La vida es bella.
Okay, why do you like it?
Because is a history real of the Second World War.
Yeah, perfect. Laura, what is your favorite film?
Tak Real Orinoco. Because
Why do you like it?
it's surrealist and humor.
Okay. Now, the idea is you write your own film review. Then remember the previous exercise. The top tips for writing. Then in number 1, you must write the title of the films. The number 2, you must write the type of film when it was made. Okay. In the number 3, you must explain the film's story, but don't explain the ending. Because if you write film review, if you write the ending, but you can damage the movie.
No spoilers.
Because if you like to see a movie but you read the end, you
Sí.
Fourth, the idea is you write your opinion about the film, and in the 5, you must write why people must go and watch the film. For example, in the film review about the Hunger Games, Marta give uh, 5 stars. Then she thought the movie is fantastic. Okay.
Ujú. Cuando yo digo también eso, o tú.
Also,
Also.
can use to, but by the end.
Natalie.
You can use to, for example, when you see me too, by the end.
Ok. Cuando yo voy a decir paisajes únicos, ¿cómo lo digo bien? Unique.
Can see, for example, unique landscapes, for example.
Unique.
Landscape.
Es que se escribe como.
Like scape without E.
Ya.
Okay. Please read your file review.
My review is of the movie Dark River Orinoco. It's a sci-fi adventure and it's streamed of 2010.
Okay.
It's about a student and her friends have a terrible accident where all die except she. And at this point, she runs for her life and search a reason for why all the persons that she did die. This film is a story based in a manga. The creator of them participates in the movie with Sana Nishima, who interpreted the prota and do it amazing. I give to Dark River Orinoco 3 stars. It's okay. Laura, 15 years.
Okay. Please read your film review.
Colombia Salvaje. No sé si se dice así o sí. Bueno. Dice the film is nature. The film show various places that are wonderful. Also bears, tigers, cocodrilos. Cocodrile. Rivers, tree, and landscape. This field is playing because Colombia have diversidad, much. No sé cómo se dice, mucha diversidad.
A lot of diversity.
¿Cómo?
A lot of diversity.
¿Cómo se escribe?
Lot. L-O-T.
Lot diversity? Listo. I love the film because the landscape, the nature. I will visit all the places that show.
Okay.
I give the Colombia Salvaje 5 stars. 5 stars.
Okay, perfect.
¿Cuál es que Spanish English.
Watch the burritos.
Bien, Víctor, te sabes.
Now we are going to hear about some soccer players, the kind of movies they like. Okay.
Anything. Action. Now, kids' movies, I love them because I have to watch them with my kids, so I'm getting to like them as well. But if you ask me, probably my favorite film would be Gladiator. I like action films, so with guns, with explosion, so that's the kind of film I watch.
I like action films. Action films. Yeah, with rappers in it. Friday with Ice Cube, Boys in the Hood. What the hell? Training Days with Denzel Washington. Classic. Actor. I like Sean Penn. I like DiCaprio. I think the movies he is in is normally good. I watch quite a lot of movies. But yeah, I would say Sean Penn.
Favorite actor, Denzel Washington. Probably Denzel Washington.
Favorite actor. I watch a lot of comedy as well. Kevin Hart was very funny. Dave Chappelle. Kevin Hart, seriously funny, is very funny. Laugh on My Pain is much funnier. Denzel Washington, Training Days, Remember the Titans. Ice Cube, who played in Friday, next Friday, Friday after the next.
Yeah, all my films in French.
Yeah, it's I did this movies, and there was the latest movies I watched from Sweden was a documentary. It was very well received. It's called Searching for Sugar Man. It's about a folks in America. It's really good. But it was from a Swedish director. And, yes, this is a lot of nice documentaries and movies from that Sweden. Bergman obviously being the big director. Ingmar Bergman. Yes, I do watch a lot of movies from our country.
Yes, so and TV movies as well. Some TV movies.
Not so much at home. Got a daughter who takes most of my time when I'm home. She normally wants to watch Peppa Pig and stuff like that. Movies normally I watch when we're traveling to games and hotel rooms before the games and stuff like that.
Yeah, at night time when we put the kids in bed, it's a good time to relax and watch some movies, and I quite like. And I go to the movies as well. I go to the cinema. I go to the cinema every 2 or 3 weeks. Twice a week.
Once every 3 weeks.
Nice. Now the idea is to do these tags related with the video. Do you remember who said that he likes films with guns and explosion? Mikel Arteta, Yusuf Mulumbu, Jonas Olson, or Romelu Lukaku?
Michael?
Say Michael. Who said that he loves children's films?
Michael Arteta.
Michael Arteta, okay. Who said that Champagne is his favorite actor?
Olson?
Jonas Olson. Who said that he watched a lot of comedies?
Yusuf Mulumbu.
Okay. Who said that he watched a documentary recently?
Romelu Lukaku.
Who said that he likes watching TV from his home country?
Mulumbu.
Who said that he watched movies when traveling to games?
Olson.
Only 3 outside.
Es que el tema todos los memorizas porque ni idea de quiénes son.
¿Ah?
Yo no los conozco.
Okay, that's 2. I really love
Comedies.
comedies because they are funny and make me laugh. The last film I went to see was a film about a scary monster.
¿Horror?
Horror. I like to watch because they are interesting and tell you things about the world.
Documentaries.
Commentaries. Um, my dad loves. I think he would like to be a cowboy.
Action?
Western.
Western.
Okay.
Westerns. My favorite film is set in the future. I love
Science fiction.
science fiction. Okay. When I was little, I love. I used
Musical.
to sing along with all the songs. Music. My sister loves Greedy. She says they are more realistic than most films.
Dramas.
Dramas. Yusuf Mulumbu loves films with guns and explosions.
Action. Easy.
Easy peasy.
Y tenemos que ver futbolistas no. ¿Quiénes son esos?
Okay.
Son, bueno.
Perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
aleluya.
That's number 3. The idea is you organize the sentence, okay?
Entonces,
Please read the sentence.
the film was released in 2012.
Okay, perfect. Next.
The main character was played by Daniel Craig.
Okay, perfect. Next sentence.
Solamente con otra encima de ese ya.
¿Sí?
Please read.
The film was set in Hong Kong, Scotland, and London.
Okay.
Was it directed by Sam Mendes?
Okay, perfect. Next sentence. Please read.
The theme tune was sung by Adele.
Okay. Check. Perfect. Now that you work with the definition, okay? Then all of the actors and actresses in a film. Okay. process. Next is the person who is in charge of how the film is made. For example, Steven Spielberg or Sir Ridley Scott. Okay, the director. The most important or famous actor or actress in a film. Okay, let's start. The actors and actresses who are in the film but don't have the most important roles.
Extras.
Okay. The music from the film you can often buy this as an album. It is soundtrack. The visual elements of a film, how the camera is used to make the pictures we see on the screen. Okay. The text of the film, including all the words which are said which the actor and actress must learn. Okay, the script. Um, a short film advertising a film which you will be able to see soon. When you go to the cinema, you see several of these before the main film starts. A trailer. Illusions created for a film, such as monster, spaceships, explosion, etc. Then let me see. There is no special effects. Okay. The visual elements of film, how the camera is used to make the picture we see on the screen. Yes. Okay, in this case, illusions created for a film, such as monster, spaceships, explosions, etc. People who appear in the film but don't speak and are not major character. For example, people who appear as part of the crowd. Okay, in this case, it is wrong. Okay. Then the first is the actors and actresses who are in the film but don't have the most important roles. Okay. Okay, perfect. Then the last, people who appear in the film but don't speak and are not major characters. For example, people who appear as part of a big crowd. Okay, I'm going to check. Okay, perfect. Now we are going to see again the video.
Anything. Action. Now, kids' movies, I love them because I have to watch them with my kids, so I can get into like them as well. But if you ask me, probably my favorite film would be Gladiator.
Like action films, so with guns, with explosion. So that's the kind of film I watch.
I like action films. Yeah, action films. Yeah, with rappers in it. Friday with Ice Cube, Boys in the Hood. What the hell? Training Days with Denzel Washington. Classic. Actor. Like Sean Penn. I like you know, the movies he is in is normally good. I watched quite a lot of movies. But yeah, I would say Sean Penn.
Favorite actor, Denzel Washington.
Probably Denzel Washington.
Favorite actor. I watch a lot of comedy as well from Kevin Hart. It was very funny. Dave Chappelle. Kevin Hart, seriously funny. It's very funny. Laugh at my pain. It's much funnier. Denzel Washington, Training Days, Remember the Titans. Ice Cube, who played in Friday, next Friday, Friday after next.
Yeah, all my films in French.
yeah. It's I do. It's movies, and there was the latest movie that I watched from Sweden was a documentary. It was very well received. It's called Searching for Sugar Man. It's about a folks in America. It's really good. But it was from a Swedish director. And, there's a lot of nice documentaries and movies from out of Sweden. Bergman obviously being the big director. Ingmar Bergman. Yes, I do watch a lot of video movies from the whole country.
Yes, that's all. And TV movies as well. Some TV movies.
Not so much at home. Got a little daughter who is takes most of my time when I'm home. She normally watches Peppa Pig and stuff like that. Movies normally I watch when we're traveling to games and hotel rooms before the games and stuff like that.
And yeah, at night time when we put the kids in bed, it's a good time to relax and watch some movies, and I quite like, and I go to the movies as well. I go to the cinema. I go to the cinema every 2 or 3 weeks as well.
Twice a week.
Once every 3 weeks.
Okay, perfect. Which was you don't understand the script?
Training in Romelu Lukaku said in the verse, what kind of films do you like? Training.
Training is when you train, you, for example, you train for a race, for example.
Entrenar.
Yes. Visual what?
Quite. The second, who is your favorite actor? Jonas Olsson say I watch quite a lot of movies.
And which part?
Jonas also.
Jonas. It's a expression. Quite a lot is big quantity of this kind of movies.
No more questions.
Tampoco.
Okay. The idea is now is you read the transcript. Then, for example, Belin Arteta, and then Laura read Yusuf Mulumbu. Next, Romelu Lukaku. Okay. Okay. What kind of films do you like?
Chico, no, ¿qué tipo de películas te gustan?
Solo tienes que leer la parte de Michael Arteta.
Ah, ya, inglés. Anything action, no kids movies. I love them because I have to watch them with my kids. So I am getting to like them as well. Would it you ask me? Probably my favorite film would be Gladiator.
Gladiator.
I like action films with guns and explosions, so that's the kind of film I watch.
Okay.
I like action films, yeah, action films with rippers in it, yeah. Friday with Ice Cube, Boys in the Hood. What did I watch? Training Day with Denzel Washington, classic.
Okay. Who is your favorite actor?
Actor, I don't know. I like Sean Penn. I like DiCaprio. I think the movies he's in are normally good. I watch quite a lot of movies, but yeah, I would say Sean Penn is my favorite actor.
Favorite actor, Denzel Washington.
Favorite actor, Denzel Washington.
Actor, I like a lot. I watch a lot of comedy as well. Kevin Hart was very funny. David Chappelle,
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, seriously funny is very funny. Loud Atomic Pain is much funnier. Denzel Washington, Training Days, and Remember the Titans.
The Titans.
The Titans, Ice Cube, Friday, Next Friday, and the Friday after next.
Okay. Do you watch a lot of films from your home country?
Yeah, all my clothes is in French.
Yeah, I do. It's her, it's movies. There was at the latest movie that it wasn't from Sweden it was a documentary. It was very well received. It's called Searching for Sugarman. It's about a folk singer in America, which was really good. But it was from a Swedish director. And yes, there's lots of nice documentaries and movies coming out of Sweden. Bergman obviously being the big director in Mar Bergman.
Yes, I do. I watch a lot of movies from my home country.
As well, and some TV movies as well, and some TV movies.
At home?
Not so much at home. I got that takes most of the time. When I'm home, she normally watch Peppa Pig and stuff like that. Movies normally I watch when we're traveling to games and in the hotel rooms before the games and things like that.
Many, yeah. At night time when we put the kids in bed, it's a good time to relax and watch movies. And I go to the movies as well. I go to the cinema.
When do you go to the cinema?
I go to the cinema every 2 or 3 weeks as well.
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
Twice.
Weeks.
Okay, perfect. Now we are going to listen a conversation.
Hi, Mario. Do you want to go and watch a film?
Hi, Tamara. Sure. What's on?
Well, there are 2 action films. Mr. and Mrs. Jones and War Games, and they are both in 3D.
I've already seen Mr. and Mrs. Jones. I haven't seen War Games, but I don't really want to see an action film. What else is on?
Science fiction film, Robot 2075, but I've already seen it.
Oh, is it good?
Yes, it is, but I don't want to see it again. Romantic comedy called Forever?
I'm not sure. Are there any horror films on?
Yes, there's a Midnight Moon. It's got vampires in it.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go and watch Midnight Moon. What time is it on?
It's on at 12 o'clock or at 2:30.
Is it on this evening?
7:30.
Perfect. Let's go at 7:30.
Okay. Shall we meet at the cinema at 7 o'clock?
Great. See you later.
Bye.
This recording was brought to you by the British Council. As like it, visit www.britishcouncil.org/Learn English Teens.
Okay. Yeah. Now is to develop this worksheet. In the preparation exercise, the idea is you draw a line to match the with the word. Okay. The exercise number 1. The idea is you circle the correct answer, taking into account the audio. And the exercise number 2, the idea is you fill the gaps, taking into account also the audio, okay?
¿Tú lo puedes volver a colocar, por favor? Gracias.
Hi, Mario. Do you want to go and watch a film?
Hi, Tamara. What's on?
Well, there are 2 action films, Mr. and Mrs. Jones and War Games, and they are both in 3D.
I've already seen Mr. and Mrs. Jones. I haven't seen War Games, but I don't really want to see an action film. What else is on?
Science fiction film, Robot 2075, but I've already seen it.
Oh, is it good?
Yes, it is, but I don't want to see it again. There's a romantic comedy called Forever.
I'm not sure. Are there any horror films on?
Yes, there's a Midnight Moon. It's got vampires in it.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go and watch Midnight Moon. What time is it on?
It's on at 12 o'clock or at 2:30.
Is it on this evening?
At 7:30.
Perfect. 7:30.
Okay. Shall we meet at the cinema at 7 o'clock?
Great. See you later.
Bye.
this image you can see the name of the movie and the gender and the time, okay? Astral of the movie. Ready? Okay, the preparation exercise. First image is
Cartoon.
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 Next image,
Horror.
horror,
Action.
action,
Historical drama.
historical drama,
Romantic comedy.
comedy, and
Science fiction.
science fiction. Okay.
Fiction.
Exercise number 1. Which film are Mario and Tamara going to see?
War games.
No.
Midnight Moon.
Yes.
Mm.
Laura, what time does the film they want to see start?
7:30
3
p.m.
p.m. Okay. Evelyn, what time are Mario and Tamara going to meet?
20. 20:30. 2:30. 2:50.
No.
Hmm?
Laura?
7:00
7 p.m.
p.m.
Exercise number 2. Hi Mario, do you want to go and watch a film? Mario says, hi Tamara, sure, what's
Soon.
on? Okay. Tamara says, well, there are 2 action films, Mr. and Mrs. Jones and War Games, and they're both in. Okay, perfect. Mario says, I've already seen Mr. and see War.
Games.
Yes, but I don't really want to see an
Action film.
film. What else is
Soon.
on? Perfect. Tamara says, there's that science fiction film from 2075, but I've already.
7 or 5 eat.
Seen.
seen it. Yes.
¿Sí?
And Mario says, is it? Okay. Tamara says, yes, it is, but I don't want to see it
Again.
again. There's a comedy called Forever. Okay. Mario says, I'm not sure. Are there any?
Horror films, huh?
Yes. Tamara says, yes, there's Midnight Moon. It's got
Vampires.
vampires in it.
Vampires.
Okay. Mario says, okay, it's good. Let's go and watch Midnight Moon. What
Time.
is it on? Tamara says, it's on 12 o'clock or at 2:30.
2.
Mario says, is it on this?
Maybe?
Yes, at 7:30. Mario says, perfect.
Go.
Let's go at 7:30. Tamara says, okay, shall we?
Meet.
At the cinema at 7. And Mario says, great, see you later. See
Listo.
you later. Tamara says, bye.
Las respuestas de la primera están.
Todavía se me está borrando más.
Listen again,
Recording was brought to you by the British Council. To find others like it, visit www.britishcouncil.org/Learn English Teens. English Teens.
Do you want to go and watch a film?
Hi, Tamara. Sure. What's on?
Well, there are 2 action films, Mr. and Mrs. Jones and War Games, and they are both in 3D.
I've already seen Mr. and Mrs. Jones. I haven't seen War Games, but I don't really want to see an action film. What else is on?
There's that science fiction film, Robot 2075, but I've already seen it.
Oh, is it good?
It is, but I don't want to see it again. There's a romantic comedy called Forever.
Are there any horror films on?
Yes, there's a Midnight Moon. It's got vampires in it.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go and watch Midnight Moon. What time is it on?
12 o'clock or at 2:30.
Is it on this evening?
7:30.
Perfect. Let's go at 7:30.
Okay. Shall we meet at the cinema at 7 o'clock?
Great. See you later.
Bye.
This recording was brought to you by the British.
Okay, now the idea is you please read the transcript. Then Bellini is Tamara and Laura is Mario, okay?
Okay. Hi, Mario. Do you want to go and watch a film?
Hi, Tamara. Sure, what's on?
Well, there are 2 action films, Mr. and Mrs. Jones and War Games, and they're both in 3D.
I've already seen Mr. and Mrs. Jones. I haven't seen War Games, but I don't really want to see an action film. What else is on?
There's that science fiction film, Robot 20. No sé cómo se dice.
2075.
2075.
You can see 2075.
75, but I already seen it.
Is it good?
Yes, it is, but I don't want to see it again. There's a romantic comedy called Forever.
I'm not sure. Are there any horror films on?
There is Midnight Moon.
Midnight.
Moon. It's got vampires in it.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go and watch Midnight Moon. What time is it on?
It's 12 o'clock or at 2:30.
Is it on this evening?
Yes, at
7:30.
7:30.
Perfect. Let's go at 7:30.
Okay, shall we meet at the cinema at 7?
Great. See you later.
Bye.
Now we are going to listen another audio related with movies.
A. I really like The Notebook. It's a romantic classic. The story is about a poor boy called Noah who meets a rich girl called Ali. And they fall in love over one summer. But of course there are problems. Ali's parents don't approve of Noah because he is poor, and they get separated. Then a lot of time passes before they can get together again. She goes away to college and he writes to her every day. But she doesn't get the letters. Then, after quite a long time, Noah buys an old house which he promised to restore for Ali. He does it up, and she sees a newspaper article about it and goes to find him again. You can probably guess the rest, but it's a bit complicated because she is engaged to another man. He's played by Ryan Gosling, who is my favorite actor. And he stops the film from being too soapy. But you still cry a lot at the end. Rachel McAdams is really good too as Ali.
I think my favourite film is Skyfall, the last James Bond movie. It stars Daniel Craig again, and Javier Bardem is this really evil baddie. They're both great, and so is Judi Dench as M. It's a bit different to other Bond films. The story is more important, although there is still a lot of action. It's really well filmed, especially in the scenes which are shot in Shanghai and Scotland. Of course, Bond is also a bit different. Although he does amazing things, he seems older, and that makes him more human and the story more realistic. The song by Adele is great too.
C. It's not a very recent film, but I love Pride and Prejudice. The version with Keira Knightley as Elizabeth Bennet and Matthew McFadden as Mr. Darcy is really clever and interesting. Besides being romantic, it's all about how we tend to jump to conclusions about people, and we're often completely wrong. Elizabeth thinks Mr. Darcy is stuck up and snobbish at the beginning of the film, But at the end, she realizes she's been completely wrong, and he isn't like that at all. She also realizes he has an enormous house, and that maybe helps her fall in love with him too. I really recommend that too. Although it was published 200 years ago, it's still a great read and really funny in parts.
D. My favourite film has to be The Matrix. Even though it was made back in 1999, it still feels really modern. Man, Neo, Reeves, who works with computers during the day and is a hacker at night. One day, he is contacted by a woman who introduces him to a very strange man, Morpheus. He explains to Neo that what he thinks of as real is actually fiction, and the world is run by evil machines who have imprisoned and tricked the human race. Lawrence Fishburne is terrific as Morpheus, is excellent, but the best thing about the film is the special effects. I can watch it again and again.
E. Let the Right One In is my favourite film. There are two versions. The first is Swedish and the second American. I prefer the original Swedish version. It's a modern vampire film and also a kind of love story, but it's really unsentimental and a bit scary in places. Oscar is the young boy with a... He is being bullied at school and wants revenge on the bullies. Then some new neighbours move in next door and he becomes friends with Ellie, a beautiful but strange girl. I won't tell you any more because it will spoil the story, but expect a serial killer, a lot of violence and blood drinking. If you like that kind of thing, you'll love this.
This recording was brought to you by the British Council.
The idea is please develop this worksheet. Please don't take into consideration exercise because we did in the previous worksheet. Only see the exercise number 1, exercise number 2. In number 1, the idea you match the speaker with the genre of film. On exercise number 2, the idea is you complete the gaps with the correct speakers. Okay.
Tú puedes volver a colocar el audio.
To find others like it, visit www.britishcouncil.
A.
I really like The Notebook. It's a romantic classic about a poor boy called Noah who meets a rich girl called Ali. And they fall in love over one summer. But of course there are problems. Ali's parents don't approve of Noah because he is poor and they get separated. Then a lot of time passes before they can get together again. She goes away to college and he writes to her every day. But she doesn't get the letters. Then, after quite a long time, Noah buys an old house which he promised to restore for Ali. And a newspaper article about it and goes to find him again. You can probably guess the rest, but it is because she is engaged to another man. Noah is played by Ryan Gosling, who is my favorite actor, and he stops the film from being too soppy. But you still cry a lot at the end. As Ali.
B.
I think my favourite film is Skyfall, the last James Bond movie. It stars Daniel Craig again, and Javier Bardem is this really evil baddie. They're both great. Lynch as M, Bond's boss. It's a bit different to other Bond films. The story is more important, although there is still a lot of action. It's really well filmed, especially in the scenes which are shot in Shanghai and Scotland, and it's really exciting, of course. Bond is also a bit different. Although he does amazing things, he seems old, makes him more human, and the story more realistic. Oh, the song by Adele is great too. You know, it won an Oscar.
C. It's not a very recent film, but I love Pride and Prejudice. The version with Keira Knightley as Elizabeth Bennet and Matthew Darcy. The story is really clever and interesting. Besides being romantic, it's all about how we tend to jump to conclusions about people, and we're often completely wrong. Thinks Mr. Darcy is stuck up and snobbish at the beginning of the film, but at the end, she realizes she's been wrong, and he isn't like that at all. She also realizes he has an enormous house, and that maybe helps her fall in love with him too. After I read the book by Jane Austen, and I really recommend that too. Although it was published 200 years ago, it's still a great read and really funny in parts.
D.
My favourite film has to be The Matrix. Even though it was made back in 1999, it still feels really modern. It's about this ordinary man, made by Keanu Reeves, who works with computers during the day and is a hacker at night. One day, he is contacted by a woman into a very strange man, Morpheus. Morpheus explains to Neo that what he thinks of as real is actually fiction, and the world is brains who have imprisoned and tricked the human race. Lawrence Fishburne is terrific as Morpheus, and Keanu Reeves is excellent. But the best thing about the film is the special effects. Again and again.
E. Let the Right One In is my favourite film. There are two versions. The first is Swedish and the second American. I prefer the original Swedish version. It's a modern vampire film and also a kind of love story, but it's really unsentimental and a bit scary in places. Is a young boy with a loss. He is being bullied at school and wants revenge on the bullies. Then some new neighbours move in next door and he becomes friends with Ellie, a beautiful but strange girl. More because it will spoil the story, but expect a serial killer, a lot of violence and blood drinking. If you like that kind of thing, you'll love this.
This recording was brought to you by the British...
Exercise number 1. What is the general theme of speaker 1?
D.
Yes, romance. Speaker 2.
E.
No. Speaker 2.
Puse el mismo, ciencia ficción.
D. No.
No.
Sí.
Which?
¿Sí?
Yes. Sí, an action film. Speaker 3.
E.
Yes. A romance based on a book.
A.
Science fiction film. Speaker 5.
B.
Yes, I'm more on 5. Okay. Exercise number 2. Which speakers chose you not to judge people too quickly?
B.
No.
Sí.
Yes. Speaker C. Speaker says the film is not too sentimental, thanks to the actor.
B.
No.
A.
Yes, A. Which speaker likes the film wishing is fiction?
A.
No.
D.
B, yes. Which speaker has seen their favorite film more than once?
C.
No.
D.
Yes. Curly. Which speaker prefers the first version of the film?
E.
Yes. E. Which speaker likes a film with murder, violence, and blood drinking?
E.
Yes. E. Which speaker likes a film which tells a love story over several years?
E.
No.
A.
Yes. A. Which speaker likes a film which shows bullying at the school?
B.
No.
E.
Yes. E. Which speaker likes the same film in different countries?
E.
No.
B.
B. Yes. Perfect. Now we are going to listen again the audio.
A. I really like The Notebook. It's a romantic classic. The story is about a poor boy called Noah who meets a rich girl called Ali. And they fall in love over one summer. But of course there are problems. Ali's parents don't approve of Noah because he is poor, and they get separated. Then a lot of time passes before they can get together again. She goes away to college and he writes to her every day. But she doesn't get the letters. Then, after quite a long time, Noah buys an old house which he promised to restore for Ali. He does it up, and she sees a newspaper article about it and goes to find him again. You can probably guess the rest, but it's a bit complicated because she is engaged to another man. Noah is played by Ryan Gosling, who is my favorite actor. And he stops the film from being too soppy. But you still cry a lot at the end. Rachel McAdams is really good too as Ali.
B.
I think my favourite film is Skyfall, the last James Bond movie. It stars Daniel Craig again, and Javier Bardem is this really evil baddie. They're both great, and so is Judi Dench as M, Bond's boss. It's a bit different to other Bond films. The story is more important, although there is still a lot of action. It's really well filmed, especially in the scenes which are shot in Shanghai and Scotland, and it's really exciting, of course. Bond is also a bit different. Although he does amazing things, he seems older, and that makes him more human and the story more realistic. Oh, the song by Adele is great too. You know, it won an Oscar.
C. It's not a very recent film, but I love Pride and Prejudice. The version with Keira Knightley as Elizabeth Bennet and Matthew McFadden as Mr. Darcy. The story is really clever and interesting, besides being romantic. It's all about how we tend to jump to conclusions about people, and we're often completely wrong. Elizabeth thinks Mr. Darcy is stuck up and snobbish at the beginning of the film, but at the end, she realizes she's been completely wrong, and he isn't like that at all. She also realizes he has an enormous house, and that maybe helps her fall in love with him too. After I saw the film, I read the book by Jane Austen, and I really recommend that too. Although it was published 200 years ago, it's still a great read and really funny in parts.
D.
My favourite film has to be The Matrix. Even though it was made back in 1999, it still feels really modern. It's about this ordinary man, Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, who works with computers during the day and is a hacker at night. One day, he is contacted by a woman who introduces him to a very strange man, Morpheus. Morpheus explains to Neo that what he thinks of as real is actually fiction, and the world is run by evil machines who have imprisoned and tricked the human race. Lawrence Fishburne is terrific as Morpheus, and Keanu Reeves is excellent. But the best thing about the film is the special effects. I can watch it again and again.
E. Let the Right One In is my favourite film. There are two versions. The first is Swedish and the second American. I prefer the original Swedish version. It's a modern vampire film and also a kind of love story, but it's really unsentimental and a bit scary in places. Oscar is a young boy with a lot of problems. He is being bullied at school and wants revenge on the bullies. Then some new neighbours move in next door and he becomes friends with Ellie, a beautiful but strange girl. I won't tell you any more because it will spoil the story, but expect a serial killer, a lot of violence and blood drinking. If you like that kind of thing, you'll love this.
Okay, the idea now is you read the transcript. Then please, Laura, read the girl. Belin, read the boy. Okay.
I really like The Notebook. It's a romantic classic. The story is about a poor boy called Noah who meets a rich girl called Ollie, and they fall in love over one summer. But of course there are problems. Ollie's parents don't approve of Noah because he's poor and they get separated. Then a lot of time passes before they can get together again. She goes away to college and he writes to her every day, but she doesn't get the letters. Then, after quite a long time, Noah buys an old house which he promises to restore for Ellie. He does it up and she sees a newspaper article about it and goes to find him again. You can probably guess the rest, but it's a bit complicated because she is engaged to another man. Noah is played by Ryan Gosling, who is my favorite actor. And he stops to feel back to Sophie, but you still cry a lot at the end. Rachel McAdams is really good as Ellie.
I think my favorite film is Skyfall, the last James Bond movie. It's stars Daniel Craig again and Javier Butler is this really evil body. They both great, and Swiss Judi Dench and Boots. It's a bit different to other both films. The story is more important, although there is still a lot of action. It's really well filmed, especially in the scenes which are shot in Shanghai and Scotland, and it's really exciting. Of course, Bond is also a bit different, although he does amazing things. He seems older, and that makes him more human and the story more realistic. Oh, the song by Adele is great too. You know, it won an Oscar.
It's not a very recent film, but I love Pride and Prejudice. The version with Keira Knightley as Elizabeth Bennet and Matthew McFadden as Mr. Darcy. The story is really clever and interesting, besides being romantic. It's all about how we tend to jump to conclusions about people and we're often completely wrong. Elizabeth thinks Mr. Darcy is stuck and snobbish at the beginning of the film, but at the end she realizes she has been completely wrong and he isn't like that at all. She also realizes he has an enormous house and that maybe helps her fall in love with him too. After I saw the film, I read the book by Jane Austen, and I really recommend that too. Although I was published 2,000 years ago, it's still a great read and really fun in parts.
Okay.
My favorite films has to be The Matrix, even though it was made back in uh, um, 15 19 no
99.
99. It still feels really modern. It's about this ordinary man, Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, who works with computers during the day and he's a hacker at night. One day, he is contacted by a woman who introduces him to a very strange man. Morpheus explains to Neo that he thinks of as real is actually fiction, and the world is run by evil machines who have imprisoned and tricked the human race. Lawrence Fishburne is terrific as Morpheus, and Keanu Reeves is excellent, but the best thing about the film is the special effects. I can watch it again and again.
Okay.
Let the Right On In is my favorite film. There are two versions. The first is Swedish and the second American. I prefer the original Swedish version. It's a modern vampire film and also a kind of love story. It is really unsentimental and a bit scary in places. Oscar is a young boy with a lot of problems. He is being bullied at the school and wants revenge of the bullies. Then some new neighbors move in the next door and he becomes friends with Ellie, a beautiful but strange girl. I won't tell you anymore because it will spoil the story, but expect a serial killer, a lot of violence and blood drinking. If you like that kind of things, you will love this.
Okay. Which words you don't understand of the transcript?
In D, uh, when he say is Lawrence Fishburne is terrific. What is terrific?
Lawrence Fishburne is terrific.
Mhm.
He's fantastic. He's a
Mm,
good actor.
and in C, when say Elizabeth thinks Mr. Darcy is stuck up and snobbish. What is stuck up and
Stuck up
snobbish?
is when people have a lot of money
Mhm.
and she don't like to share with another people, only with people who have a lot of money.
Snobbish.
And it's the stock and it's snobbish. It's,
Okay.
Nice. Tres.
when people only like to share with rich people.
In B, there's a he said alto. Alto. There is still a lot of action.
Is there?
3 line.
In which part?
The line number 3 in the alto.
although you can see in Spanish, a pesar de.
No.
A pesar de. In the, no, perdón. In I, un sentimental.
Sentimental without sentiments.
Sin sentimientos.
¿Sentimientos?
Sin sentimientos.
Sin sentimientos. Y bullet debajo de un sentimental.
Molestado.
Vale, pues when some boys
Bullying. Bullying.
make bullying to another partners.
Ya. Ok, gracias. Spoil.
Which part?
Debajo de bullet, uno, después sigue doors because it will spoil the story.
Damage, because if you say the end of the movie, you can damage the story. Okay.
No entendí.
Que puedes dañar la historia a su punto de final de la película.
Ya.
Yes, you can damage.
Blood drinking.
Blood drinking, when you drink
Blood.
when you drink
Sangre.
yes,
Ya, beber sangre. Listo.
because vampires drink blood.
Stuck up.
Stuck up is when stuck up and snobbish are similar. It's when rich people only like to chat with rich people. Okay.
Gente rica. Ya.
They don't like to share with poor people. Only with rich people. Which are
No more.
okay. Now the idea is you talk about you make a film preview. Then please think about the movie. Here we have 10 questions. You can base your film review in these 10 questions. Then what you think about a movie, I will do my film review. Okay. Then my film review is about the Fifth Element. It is science fiction and action movie. It is about the 5 elements. You know the 4 elements. The 4 elements are earth, fire, air, and water. Okay. The idea of the movie is the fifth element is a woman. The main actors are Bruce Willis and Mila Jovovich. The supported actors are Chris Tucker, Ian Hall, and Gary Oldman. The movie was released in 1997. Sure. And this is my film review. I give 5 stars to this movie because I think this movie is fantastic. Okay, and this is my film review. Okay, now you can see these questions. Then the title of the film, the genre. Remember comedy, remember drama, remember horror movies. What is it about? The description of the movie. If it is based on a book, for example, Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is a movie based on a book. Where is the film set? When is the film set? For example, in Colombia, Magia Salvaje, the film was set in Colombia, obviously. When is the film set? For example, in my movie, The Fifth Element, in 1997, who stars in the film? Remember, the star is the most important actor or actress. In my movie, the most important actor is Bruce Willis, and the most important actress is Mila Jovovich. Who plays the main role? In that case, the same, Bruce Willis or Mila Jovovich. Who is your favorite character in the film, and why? And you can say what kind of people would like this film. Okay, for example, some people like romantic movies, and other people prefer horror movies. Okay, and other people prefer cartoon movies, etc. Okay.
The film was it. The thing. It's about it's horror.
Horror movies.
Huh?
Horror movies.
Horror movies. It's about a real force. In this case, it's a clown.
Yes.
And scares scares a city. And it's a terrible killer and kill too much.
Okay.
It's based in the book of Stephen King. It. The film was set in, I think it's in London. I don't know. Really.
In England.
England. The film was set in 2017.
Okay.
Who stars in the film?
Yes. Do you remember the name of the actor or actress or the director? Maybe.
No, but I know that Tim Burton collaborated with Stephen King.
Okay.
Who plays the main roles is it. I don't know who's the actor. I just see the movie. My favorite character in the film was was George, the boy who dies at the start of the movie. And I don't know.
How many stars do you give to the movie?
I give 5 stars.
Between 1 to 5.
I give 5 stars. It's a good movie.
5 stars. Okay, perfect.
The title of the film is The Wonderful Jack.
Okay.
What genre it is? Cartoon.
Okay.
What is about Jack took the Christmas in the en lugar de. Entonces eso sería.
¿Televisor?
¿En qué?
Televisor.
Sí, in place of the Halloween.
Okay.
And it's no. I believe the film this film in the 2007.
Okay.
And the star in the film is Jack.
Yes. Do you remember the name of the actor or actress?
No, and I love Tim Burton. Tim Burton was the director of the film.
Okay.
And I love the Jack. So your
Thinking?
locura crazy. Su locura crazy.
He's crazy.
And I give 5 stars at the film.
Okay. Thanks so much for your attention. And see you in the next class. Okay.
Gracias.
Ya no existe el next class.